Hi everyone, welcome to Meditation with Annemarie. This is part 2 of my online series on coping with change using your inner power. So today I'm going to draw our second power from my book, Will to Wonder, Principles on the Loss and Recovery of Power. So there's 21 different powers in my book that we're going to be looking at. And the foundation of the book is based on our teachings as Brahma Kumaris. So let's draw a power. Power to let go and pack up. So I love how they're always very accurate and they all work in together. So last fortnight we had power to adjust. This fortnight it's power to pack up and let go. So it's about being able to recognize any wasteful thoughts and getting rid of them before we put them into action, because then we're creating bad habits for ourselves. So the power to pack up is the ability to pack up any wasteful, negative or limiting thoughts and letting it go. By applying a firm brake, I can practice self-control and discipline, enabling me to control and direct my thoughts. This is a major step towards becoming master of my own mind and master of my life. I am the backpack. I do not carry excess baggage and only carry what I need as a means to travel light. So our supporting virtues, our inner strengths that can help us upgrade this power to pack up is discipline, a bit of a paradox, determination, self-respect, acceptance, courage, judgment, good judgment, not being judgmental, tolerance and silence. So wonderful virtues to be practicing. So we need to replace negative for positive. Let's have a meditation. So just sitting comfortably and quietly now. Give yourself permission to check in on yourself, to help you recognize where there may be some tension stored in your body or some stress in your mind. So starting with a couple of gentle, even breaths deep down into your belly. Allow that oxygen to flow through and expand your lungs and continue to travel down into your belly and release it. And just become aware that each time you release, you exhale, your body relaxes just that little bit more. So you can keep your eyes open or you can keep your eyes closed, it doesn't matter. If you keep your eyes open, just focus on a spot in front of you and gently rest your gaze there. If any thoughts come to disturb your bit of peace, pay them no attention. Just let them come and let them go. Don't get stuck on wondering where they've come from or how long they've been there. Just recognize them and let them go. This will be the basis of your power to pack up. Now, in order to release, we need to replenish. So with every breath you release, I want you to let go of something negative in your life, something limiting in your life that's been holding you back. Think about the thoughts that you've been creating about certain situations, about certain people, maybe even your own weaknesses. So as you exhale and release, firstly I want you to exhale any feelings of fear and anything that surrounds fear, anxiety, uncertainty, confusion, insecurity, and breathe it all out. And in your mind, watch it dissipate into thin air, into nothingness. And as you purge those negativities out of your life, there will be a space. And in order for that space to not be refilled with negativity, we need to fill it with our own beauty. So think about your specialities, and as you inhale, I want you to bring in self-love, self-care, self-respect, self-motivation, self-discipline, self-awareness. Exhaling now once again, releasing any anger, all levels of anger, frustration, resentment, fear, insecurity, blame, shame, expectation, disappointment. Release it, let it all go. Watch it dissipate into the ether, into nothingness, never to be returned. And as you breathe in acceptance, being adventurous, being brave and courageous, being forgiving and compassionate, having an open heart, and continue this exercise until you feel that you've purged yourself of all the negativities in your life that have been holding you back, and that you've refilled yourself, recharged yourself, reset yourself with all your inner beauty, your inner strength, your power. Keep those strengths with you and keep releasing those weaknesses. This is a wonderful way to practice your power to pack up, to help you let go that which you cannot control, and to let you keep moving forward. Whenever you finish with that exercise, just gently bring yourself back to the here and now. Taking all those wonderful jewels, all those wonderful strengths with you throughout your day. Feeling great, feeling uplifted. You can gently start your day. Om Shanti. Now, power to pack up. Power to pack up. Firstly, it's important to understand that as a soul, as a spiritual being, I am a thinking being. So I can't not think. But I do have the ability to check the quality and the quantity of them. So with practice, and the more I reconnect with my inner strength, the more I'm able to change the quality and change the quantity. I'm able to change the direction of the thoughts that I'm going in. Because we have to remember, as a soul, and I'm the one creating my own thoughts, I'm the creator of my own thoughts. So no one else can create them for me. They can influence them, but they can't create my thoughts for me. So that's all on me. If I'm not coping so well in life, I need to check what kind of waste thoughts I'm creating, I'm entertaining, I'm feeding. Because it's those waste thoughts that turn to negative thoughts. If we keep dwelling on them enough times, they will turn into negative thoughts, and then before we know it, they will spill out into our life. And through our actions, through our reactions, through our words, through our attitude. And we become, in a sense, a bit like a caged bird, or like our wings are clipped in our own story, because we may have these wonderful ideas and aims in our life, even in our day, but we don't recognize or aren't willing to look at ourselves sabotaging our own thought processes in the background. So the more I'm able to have that courage and look at that, the more I'm able to change it. But most of us get busy and look for distractions because we don't want to look at it. But we need to get comfortable with the discomfort, with the uncomfortable, because as triggers rise up, and often when we sit in meditation, these triggers will rise up in life throughout our day. We will get triggered. And that has nothing to do with someone else's behavior. No matter how bad someone else behaves, if I'm being triggered, it's something that is unhealed in me that I need to change, so that I don't become a victim of their circumstance. Because if I buy someone else's rubbish, I pay for it with my own health and well-being, and that comes at a cost, because the cost is I have no control over my own mind. And if I don't control this instrument, someone else will. And this is the most powerful instrument you're ever going to own. So it pays to exercise it and to look after it. And meditation is a form of doing that. Positive thinking is a form of meditation. The best exercise I can share with you is called traffic control. As Brahma Kumaris, we practice traffic control, or just a minute, JAM, J-A-M, where we stop every hour in our working day for just 60 seconds. So we pop an alarm or a bit of music, or just a little bell or something on our reminder system on our phone throughout our day every hour. So when the reminder goes off, it reminds us to pull up. and to turn inward and to check in on ourselves, to turn inward and to turn upward. So to turn inward into my own power and to turn upward into divine power. So we're getting recharged at the same time. It gives me the opportunity to learn to direct what's going on. The traffic in my mind is so busy, so out of control. If I don't start becoming the controller, sometimes, we have to have a bit of a sense of humor with this. I sometimes see Fred Flintstone, like apply the brake, stop that thought. No, that one's not going through. So you've got to make it a bit of fun and lightness so that you can have a bit of a laugh at yourself as well. Because otherwise we get too serious about self-change and then we start resenting it and then we start putting that on others. So the more I give myself the opportunity to pack up these thoughts and let them go, get rid of them, take them out, kill them off, then the easier it is for me to pack up those emotions that belong to those weak thoughts. And that when we're able to pack up the emotion, then it doesn't spill out into our life through reactive compulsive behaviors where we're out of control and we're doing things against our will. Yeah? So this is when someone else is controlling what's going on in here. That's when we look outward and start blaming. We start looking, pointing to an outside source to blame because we don't want to look what's going on in here. But you know what? The more you look in here, the more liberating your life, the more liberated your life becomes. That's been my experience. So as much as I need to discipline myself with these practices, I love it because it gives me something to work with. So this is how I practice the traffic control. At the beginning of my day, let's say 7 o'clock in the morning, I will stop and I will give myself an aim for the day. And my aim for the day will be, I will look at one of my inner strengths, one of my virtues, might be compassion, might be courage, it might be determination, it might be enthusiasm, it might be forgiving, whatever it might be, I'm going to be practicing that virtue. And of course, when we put out that aim, we will get tested on it because how else do we know if we're progressing? But often when we are being challenged on that very thing that we want to change, we get stuck on the challenge and we forget why that challenge has come up in the first place. I'm supposed to be practicing my virtue. So when the traffic control, when my little alarm goes off, it gives me an opportunity then to check in on myself. If my alarm goes off and I'm really stressed out and I can't do anything else, then by all means, all we can do is just breathe. So even just focusing on our breathing, it still allows us to apply the brake instead of jumping on that runaway train of thoughts and emotions, which then we crash into bed exhausted, wake up the next day exhausted, continue on that same pattern over and over and over. Not much fun, is it? So when I'm able to apply the brake and turn and change the direction, then I'm moving forward. And it's all good and well to sit in silence in meditation for half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening. But if I then forget about my spiritual practice throughout my day, I'm missing a lot of opportunities where I'm going to make the biggest inroads into my own self-development. Okay, just meditating morning and evening and not thinking about my behavior throughout the day. Sure, I'm still going to make some changes somewhere along the line, but it's going to take me 10 times longer. The traffic control allows me every hour to pull myself up, to check in. So when my alarm goes off, I apply the brake, I take a breath, and I check, how am I going? What was my aim for today? Okay, so my aim today was to be to practice being grateful. How am I going with that? Oh, okay, got a little bit caught up over there. Wasn't feeling very grateful over there. But yay, good on me for recognizing it. So we don't beat ourselves up. We pat ourselves on the back for 1, stopping, 2, having the courage to look at it, 3, recognizing it, and 4, now I'm going to change it. I'm going to wipe the slate clean. So I'm going to give myself many chances throughout the day to start again, as opposed to carrying that backpack that gets heavier and heavier and heavier with all my mistakes, with other people's mistakes. This way we don't carry mistakes. We wipe the slate clean and we start again. Otherwise, we keep repeating these mistakes, and then we end up living a life of damage control, always fixing up after the fact instead of pulling up ourselves up before. It saves us so much time, so much energy. We become a lot more economical. We become a lot calmer. We become our creativity starts improving, and we stop blaming and shaming ourselves. We stop having that expectation, and we stop having that disappointment. So the packing up is such a beautiful power, because packing up is just that. Don't carry any waste. Learn from it, let it go, and move forward. Don't keep hanging on to it. That's just excess baggage. It's hard work, and it's not necessary. So when we're able to stop the thought, we stop the emotion, we stop being the victims in our own story, we stop becoming victims in other people's stories. Instead, I am the hero of my own story. So my successes will be an everyday occurrence. I look at all the little wins, all the times I allowed myself to apply the brake and to stop. I don't look at the losses where I may have made a mistake. Instead, I pat myself on the back, learn from it, let it go, wipe the slate clean, and start again. So if I'm doing it, let's say an 8-hour working day from 9 till 5, which is broken up into 8 times a day, 1 minute lots. If I believe that I value myself, but I can't find 8 minutes a day that's broken up to give myself that time, then I need to check my own belief system, my own value system, because deep down I'm telling myself that I'm not a priority, that I'm not worth it, that everything else comes before me. That if I tell myself I'm too busy, I don't have time to stop, I'm telling myself I am not worth it. So give yourself that 1 minute every hour to pull yourself up and to just check in. Ask yourself, how am I going today? Yeah? Have that conversation, have that connection with yourself. And you'll be amazed how much easier you can move forward in your life, in your story, and create bigger, more happier, healthier stories. Okay, so I think we'll leave it at that. I hope you got some benefit out of it. Let's finish with a meditation. So once again, just starting with a couple of gentle, even breaths. And just allow yourself to remain calm just for a little bit longer. If you're already feeling rushed, like you're rushing off, already thinking about what you need to do when you finish this meditation, here's a great opportunity for you to change it right here, right now, and to take a breath and to just remain present. for a few more minutes. So with this meditation, I want you to use your imagination. And I want you to imagine that you have a couple of plug holes at the bottom of your feet. And I want you to just unplug those holes. And as you unplug them, I want you to notice all this waste pouring out, all this negativity, all this fear and angst and darkness. Just let it all drain out. Completely drain yourself and let it drain into Mother Earth. And I want you to imagine in your mind that all that negativity that's being drained into Mother Earth is streaming down in underground rivers out to sea, and then forming into condensation and dissipating into the thin air. So once again, nothing left. Keep doing that until you feel completely empty. And when you feel that the last trickles of negativity, of waste, has left your body, I want you to plug up your plug holes at the bottom of your feet. And in your mind's eye, I want you to just look up to the sky. And as you're looking up, all I want you to do is notice how you're being filled with energy, with light, with love, with peace, with enthusiasm and courage. You may want to give it a color, that's perfectly fine. I just like to picture light, sparkling, bright light. But do what works for you. There is no right or wrong in meditation. It's simply finding ways to connect with your inner light, with divine light, to help you let go of any human weaknesses that hold you back in your life, and to reconnect with soul consciousness as a means to uplift you, as a means to heal your wings so you can fly once again in your life. So just keep filling yourself up till you feel so filled, so overflowing and full. Yet that feeling is of lightness, like you could just lift up and fly away. So keep filling yourself up until you feel ever so light. And you can do this exercise again and again whenever you feel depleted, whenever you feel so completely stressed to the max that you have nowhere else to go. Just sit and empty yourself and then fill yourself. Empty yourself of negativity, of darkness. Fill yourself with power, with peace, with light. Om Shanti.